In a weekly press briefing, the Foreign Office spokesperson Zahid Chaudhry made an offer to host PM Modi for talks. Kashmir asked New Delhi to create a conducive environment for talks. For further discussion on this topic, we have with us Ambassador Zafar Hilaly. Thank you so much, sir, for your time. Firstly, the Foreign Ministry again offered India for peace engagements. Furthermore, they added that Pakistan will be happy to have PM Modi for a dialogue on Kashmir. How do we see this statement?
No, they said, the Foreign Office said very carefully and I welcomed it. In fact, in a tweet, if you can look up my tweet today, you will be able to get my full reaction to it, considered reaction, in which I think I said that the Foreign Office had said if Modi reverts to the position that existed in Kashmir before, in other words, if he took the steps that the Prime Minister had also suggested that he does before he engages engages with Pakistan, then we would welcome it. But if he does not, there is no question of engaging. That is what I took that to be the message of the Foreign Office.
So secondly, how you see that if you're offering PM Modi for talks, whereas aggression in Kashmir goes on. Secondly, the Article 370 and 35A are now going to revert. So how further this willingness of peace will lead us?
So it is not going to lead us further. We have said categorically that it is up to Modi to create the right conditions. He was the man who spoiled the conditions by doing what he did in Jammu and Kashmir, by in fact trashing even the similar agreement, which says specifically that there will be no unilateral change in the condition without consultation. So what is this? They've done nothing wrong. They just said reverse the steps, retrace your steps. Once you do that, we can talk. Now you're saying, what's the point of saying that? Well, I don't know. I think there's a lot of point in saying that. In other words, they're saying, even if you come, even if there is a SARC summit, and even if you come, there's really nothing we need to talk about with you. We can't, because you haven't created the right atmosphere for talks. You haven't taken those, you haven't retraced your steps.
Thirdly, Pakistan has remained a motivation and persistent encouragement for Kashmiris and their freedom. So how do you think that Pakistan can play its role where the gossips for peace engagements are constantly running in news?
First of all, there is talks. But we haven't changed our position of Kashmir. They are talks basically on old agreements, and one of which we welcomed was the 203 agreement has now been restored. So that's a very good step, because we had agreed and India was not keeping to it. Now the Indians have said we will keep to it, and we will also keep to it and not retaliate against the fire, because there will be no fire, there will be no need for us to retaliate. Number one, that's a good step. What is the question that you asked, that we are engaging with them? In what way are we engaging with them if we are talking to them about an agreement which we had already concluded with them? Is that a new engagement, do you think? Do you think that shows something that we are giving up our position on Kashmir? Absolutely not. Are we trading with India? No.
Concludingly, if Pakistan is ready to engage with India on Kashmir conflict and India keeps on linking terrorism with Kashmir issue, so what could be the future outlook of this process?
I think every country, the United Nations says Kashmir is disputed territory. They have given the people of Kashmir the right to self-determination. This has been denied to them in India. India has carried out a policy of genocide against them. They reserve, and we reserve, and the world reserves their right to help the people with their alien subjugation illegally to gain their freedom. And I am all for helping the Kashmiri people to promote their cause by whatever means they feel proper. And if it is an armed struggle, it's up to them. I think it is within their rights to do so. And you yourself are saying, and rightly so, that there is genocide going on there, subjugation. It's a prison. It's the largest prison in the world. It's 7 million people are in prison. And I think Pakistan should help them beyond moral and diplomatic support. This is my view as a citizen of Pakistan.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time.